Important Penguins updates and some big roster moves might be coming real soon. Rucker McGroarty and all the rest of the prospects, we're going to give you some updates on our entire farm system, as well as some huge reinforcements potentially returning to the lineup tonight for the Penguins. I'm not going to tell you who they are quite yet, but that will be the first segment here today, so we're not going to waste too much time here on Penguins Digest. Got to keep you up to date on the latest Pittsburgh Penguins news. Huge news coming this morning, just a couple hours ago, about players that could be returning to the lineup tonight. And then we also get to talk about prospects, which is always fun. What guys can help the Penguins down the stretch this season? Who are we looking for to get the call at some point in the coming months if Kyle Dubas doesn't make any big trades? And then, like I said, roster moves are going to be huge. Because we are getting guys back off IR, decisions have to be made, and that could mean Jesse Puljujarvi's tenure as a Penguin ends yet again. Let's first let you guys know that you guys have been blowing up the channel. We have gotten so many subs in the last few days. I appreciate you guys so much. We hit 200, which was our goal heading into this video. Now I want you guys to get me to 250 before the next video. Continue to click that sub button. Continue to keep up to date on the latest Pittsburgh Penguins news and updates. We got you covered here on Penguins Digest. So let's jump right in, because I know you guys, without further ado, want to know exactly what I'm talking about. Who is returning to the lineup tonight? The reinforcements are ready and they're on the way. And we have a home game against the Seattle Kraken tonight at 7. And this video is going to come out a few hours before that. So if you guys are seeing this video late, I apologize. But we are giving you the update before the game actually starts. Evgeni Malkin and Michael Bunting are both returning to the lineup tonight for the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is big news for the Pens. They were waiting to get Michael Bunting back after that really scary car accident, and Evgeni Malkin has missed multiple games with an injury. They placed him on IR, and I let you guys know last video there was nothing to worry about, and this right here is proof. The Penguins are getting Malkin and Bunting back tonight against the Kraken just in time. Two top 6 forwards that the Penguins desperately missed. The reason why they were losing games, in my opinion. You got Erik Crosby and Russ going out there on the first line tonight. Bunting and Malkin reuniting with Cody Glass on the second line. Drew O'Connor, Kevin Hayes staying in the lineup, and Philip Tomasino, welcome back as well. He's only played in a few games since he returned from the IR, and now we have Anthony Beauvillier re-entering the fold as well, with Blake Lizotte and Noel Acciari on that fourth line. So Tomasino comes back, Beauvillier goes into the fourth line, and we have some big-time healthy scratches to announce, and that includes Jesse Puljujarvi. Is he going to get sent back down to the AHL? Could this be the end of Puljujarvi in Pittsburgh? As well as defense, Ryan Graves scratched yet again as a healthy scratch for the Pens. They're really confident in this 6-man defensive unit that Mike Sullivan's been rolling out there with Pettersson, Letang, Grizzlick, Karlsson, Pickering, and P.O. Joseph. So Ryan Graves is the odd man out, and that is just proof again today that he is not in the lineup for tonight's game. As of right now, if anything changes before the actual puck drop, I apologize, but that is what was reported from practice this morning. So the Penguins trying to roll out there with Malkin and Bunting back in the lineup. Big news for the Pens. So let's move on to the next topic. That was obviously great positive news that I wanted to share with you guys to start out this video, but now we are going to give you the update that you've been waiting for. Young guys are on the rise, and this is a prospect update, our first prospect update here on Penguins Digest, a huge prospect update, because we want to look at the farm system. We want to be able to evaluate how these young players are doing at both the AHL level, the LHL, WHL, wherever they are, QMJHL. We want to know how our boys are doing, and first I got to show you how everybody's doing, and then we'll be a little bit more specific with our approach to this prospect update, because obviously the AHL is going to be our feeder system and how we're going to get most of these players called up to the NHL. Before I even show you that, I got to show you an article from The Athletic that I just read earlier today talking about Penguins prospects, talking about Kyle Dubas. Don't be surprised if more young players are on the way. Kyle Dubas isn't going to go on a shopping spree. Now, that could or may or may not be true there, that he's not going to go on a shopping spree. Who knows if he's going to. But the Penguins do have young players in the AHL who are perhaps capable of helping them right now. And don't be surprised if some of those players get the call to Pittsburgh sooner rather than later. A couple of young players in Wilkes-Barre sense that some promotions aren't far away, and this is the Penguins insider telling us this. Tristan Braz is an option. He had 12 goals in 27 games at the NHL level. Koivunen and Ponomarev, two key pieces in the Jake Gensel trade from last year's trade deadline. putting up almost a point per game in the AHL. Those are guys to keep an eye on. Emil Bemstrom, he's a big name to keep an eye on. And he is playing at a point per game pace right now at the AHL level. And then, of course, Rutger McGroarty, one of our favorites, following a slow start to the season. He's finally coming to life at the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins, affiliate of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So we got to keep a look on these guys. We got to continue to evaluate them as the season goes on and keep you updated with what they are doing at their given level. And that will tell us maybe who could be the reinforcements on the way. We've seen Sam Poulin get an opportunity. We've seen McGroarty get an opportunity already this season. There's a bunch of other guys as well that could be called up at some point this season. So we just got to stay on tap with these and stay up to date with who could potentially get the call to Pittsburgh, because we need reinforcements, obviously. You know, you get Malkin and Bunting back tonight, but that doesn't really inject the youth in the lineup that Kyle Dubas wants to do. So maybe he doesn't even have to trade. Maybe one of these guys on this list could be the answer for the Pens to help them win games, because they're in a stretch right now that has not been very impressive. And I just want the streak to break as soon as possible. If that means calling somebody up, then so be it. But we have to do something here. And Kyle Dubas is obviously actively trying to make moves, whether it's trades, roster moves, and obviously it's huge decisions to make about Rutger McGroarty, maybe being called up later this season. Poulin, like I said, Emil Bemstrom might get the call. Jesse Pujärvi most likely getting sent back down now that Malkin and Bunting are back. Just a ton of stuff to keep you up to date with here with the Penguins. But as far as the roster updates, I really want to focus on the AHL level. I just want to show you because Tanner Howe is on that list. That's an important one that we want to keep an eye on. But mostly the AHL guys are who we're concerned with. And if you look, Emil Bemstrom at the top of the list as far as points per game, this guy has been an animal at the AHL level. So someone's going to get the call. It's probably Emil Bemstrom at this point. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Rutger McGroarty or Sam Poulin get the call again. We talked about Koivunen and Ponomarev maybe being options as well, guys that we got in that Gensel trade. Just a ton of really good prospects the Penguins had. I mean, these are blue chip prospects at this point. We actually have a decent farm system for the first time in a while, starting to replenish that farm system is Kyle Dubas' main focus, other than trying to win now, is trying to get some picks and prospects back for the Penguins for years of contention, trading guys away for so long. He's trying to replenish that supply that we have in order to move guys around and maybe continue to make this team better. So Kyle Dubas knows what he's doing. You guys can say whatever you want about Dubas, but he has done a good job. With this prospect pool in replenishing it. And if we look at the goaltenders, which is obviously huge, Tristan Jarry actually played a couple games down in the AHL earlier this season on a conditioning stint. And Nedeljkovic started one game down there as well. But mostly I want to focus on Philip Larson and Joel Blomqvist, because Blomqvist got a start in Pittsburgh earlier the year when Jarry was sent down. Blomqvist was at the NHL level playing decent. Him and Larson have both been pretty much brick walls at the AHL level all season long. Larson's numbers are actually better than Blomqvist, and they've been splitting time pretty much 50-50. So everybody's calling for Joel Blomqvist to get called up, but Larson's just as good, and he could be an option for the Pens if they really want a goaltender and they really think Larson could be the guy. He's 26 years old. He's a Swede. He's actually more experienced than Joel Blomqvist at the professional level. So he could be an option for the Pens if they're able to move Jarry or Nedeljkovic, or even if they decide not to. This is a lot of flexibility for the Penguins at the goaltending position that we didn't really know about. This is a deep goaltending team as far as those two guys at the AHL level and the two guys we have at the NHL level. They could all technically be number ones. Now, obviously, Jarry and Ned would have to play a little bit better to be worthy of that, but Blomqvist and Larson, two of the best goalies in the AHL right now. So this is a farm system loaded with goaltending talent, a crop of guys that we could really call up at any time. So I'd like to see what Kyle Dubas wants to do there as far as netminder is concerned, most important position on the ice. So that's mainly why I wanted to give you guys this prospect update. You know, McGroarty and Bemstrom and all those guys, they're important, but goaltending has been the main question for the Pens. And if Larson or Blomqvist could be the answer, we don't have to trade for a guy like John Gibson. Now, I did see a mock trade that we could trade Jarry for Gibson. The same thing I exactly said a couple days ago on the video, but hey, I'd love that to happen, but if it doesn't, we have a couple guys that are still options that we could call up at any point. They're already under contract. We wouldn't have to give up anything for them. So Larson and Blomqvist, keep an eye on those guys, and we'll continue to keep you updated here on Penguins Digest as far as how the prospects are doing as the season progresses. Last thing today that we're going to talk about is key players versus the Kraken tonight. A big game. Malkin and Bunting coming back. Those are obviously key players. Even if they can do some kind of impact on the game tonight, we can win against the Kraken and get back on track before this massive road trip that lasts literally the rest of the month of January. So this is an important get-right game for the Penguins before they go on a massive road trip. We'll talk about what players are to look out for tonight, starting with Rickard Rakell. Rickard Rakell has been on fire. 2 more points in the Penguins' last game. On Sunday, he has 22 goals this season, 18 at even strength, which is tied for 4th in the NHL. So obviously keep an eye on Raquel. And I have 4 more for you before we finish this video. Kevin Hayes found the net, the back of the net again on Sunday night, giving him 3 goals in 6 games since returning to the lineup. I've noticed that with him. He's actually been really solid for the Pens. That's why he is still in the lineup right now on the 3rd line. As this center, we need Kevin Hayes to continue to produce. And then we also have Erik Karlsson, who has 12 points in his last 13 games. He's been picking it up, playing his best hockey as a Penguin. Everybody's still trashing him, and that's fine. I understand why. He's way overpaid for what he does, but he's getting a little bit better, getting more comfortable and acclimated to the system, and our power play is getting better as well. And then, of course, we also have Crosby and Letang. They have had a lot of success over the course of their careers, leaders on this team. I actually don't even have them in the 5 that we have to mention as far as key players tonight, but I just have to mention those guys because every single game that Crosby, Malkin, and Letang play together is another step towards, getting even higher on the rankings of greatest cores of all time in professional sports, and just continuing to play games and have success on the ice together. The Penguins power play has been, I was actually doing pretty good. And then lately, the special teams has just been a disaster. So I don't even want to talk about that. But Michael Bunting, 6 points in 6 career games against the Kraken. He's another player to look out for. And then finally, Blake Lizotte, 6 career points in 10 games against Seattle. But he has 4 points in his last 5 games against them. So those are guys to really look out for tonight for the Penguins against the Kraken. Desperately need to win. Desperately need to get back on track. And I want to tell you guys, because this just happened, the Penguins just announced, and I'm telling you this happened a minute ago as I'm making this video, they are open for business, officially open for business. The report is that no Penguins player is safe from a trade except players with no movement clauses. That is breaking news here on Penguins Digest. No Penguins player is safe from a trade except players with no movement clauses. So if you made it this far in the video and you've been watching for 11 minutes, you're probably like, why are you breaking this news now? It just happened as I'm recording this video. The Penguins announced, Kyle Dubas announced that any player is available for trade. The Penguins are open for business. I'm not saying there's going to be a fire sale, but big changes coming for a team that is struggling mightily right now. The more players get traded away, the more relevant what I just talked about with prospects could be, because these players could be on the move right now. I mean, you could see guys traded today, tomorrow, the next. I mean, we are open for business, and at that moment, prospects will be called up. So you never know, guys. Hey, I'll be breaking news next thing you know, and we'll be talking about who actually gets moved. But right now, it's all, hypothetical, but there was an announcement just a little bit ago from Kyle Dubas that they do plan to sell. So that is not good news for us at all. I'm actually going to have to really think about this in a second and recover after breaking that news to you guys. Not what I wanted to hear today. Really not what I wanted to hear today, but I understand it. I'm not happy. I'm not happy, guys. So I'm going to end this video. I definitely need to look at this and address this, and we'll probably have to make another video about this at some point. This is not good. Penguins have 4 pending on unrestricted free agents at forward: Beauvillier, Drew O'Connor, Nieto, and Jesse Pujärvi, and then 3 on defense: Pettersson, Grzelcyk, and Ryan Shea. Just in case you were wondering, those are probably the first guys to go. Would be Beauvillier, O'Connor, Nieto, Pujärvi, Pettersson, Grzelcyk, and Shea, because they are pending unrestricted free agents at the end of the season. So, sorry to have to break that news to you guys, Penguins Nation. We're in this together, guys. This could be the first time we ever actually have to watch this team do a full-on rebuild. We've been blessed in this entire era since I've been a Penguins fan, since the beginning. A couple few rough years when I started becoming a fan, but come the 2007 season, we've been good, and the last few years have been really different. And obviously with the Steelers right now, there's a lot, guys. It's a lot. So I sympathize with all of you right now. I'm going through an emotional roller coaster as well. But that'll do it for our episode of Penguins Digest today. We will have more content because there's so much news and rumors surrounding this team right now. But breaking news, the Penguins will be sellers, and Kyle Dubas is basically ready to trade anybody that doesn't have a no movement clause. So you guys stay tuned to this channel. You click that sub button right now, because I will continue to let you know everything that's happening with our team. And hey, that's all I can say right now, guys. If something happens, we'll have another video up for you guys. But right now, let's get ready for the Kraken. Regardless of who's on the roster, nobody is safe. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next episode of Penguins Digest.